Alright, so this is a video about restoring an Xbox 360 controller. I have this old one which I stopped using for a couple of years, and then lately I thought I'd hook it up again to find out it wasn't working. So I thought, well, I had another controller with another battery compartment. Of course I switched the batteries, but it still didn't work. So I thought I use a different compartment to see if it's in the controller or in the connector somewhere. And as you can see, it turns on, connects, so it's not in the controller itself. It's probably in the compartment. So I took apart the compartment where it came with, because you know, if you leave it in the batteries for too long without using them really, then they start oxidating, and well, it's not good. And as you can see, it gets a little bit dirty, which isn't that bad. Just this, you know, you can clean it, but in this state, with the, you know, it's kind of hard to clean it well, because you know, the small size, it's a little bit hard to get in all the corners. So I thought maybe I can open it. So that's what I did. As you can see, it's not that hard, but you have to keep in mind that you will have to kind of, well, break it, because you know it's glued together, and you can open it, but it breaks. It's not that hard. You can make it easier to open it by warming it up a bit with a hairdryer, or maybe put it in an oven, just a normal oven that you have in your kitchen. Just make sure that it's not too warm. I would say 80 degrees Celsius, or that's about 170 Fahrenheit, I think. So that the adhesive gets a little bit warm and gooey, so you can make it open. So that's what I did. I put it in the oven, I warmed it up, and then I used a little metal spudger like this. I have it here on my keychain. And then get in between the corners, and you kind of get it open. But you know, well, like I said, you have to keep in mind that it will break. But that is not really that bad, because, well, you can glue it if you want back together, or not. It would, if you're careful with it, it will stay put if you put it back together. So what you have here is the inside of the battery compartment. Here is the release button that goes in here on the top with a little spring, and then the inside with the two metal connectors. As you can see, the one is a bit dirty. I tried to clean it, got most of it off, but then you have to keep in mind it's two separate parts. Now this one got loose, and then if you can see, in the middle, right, this part, if you flip it over, you see that it's hard to see, but this it's like a curve, and with in case of mine, it was a little bit too much bent, so I gave it a bit more space, so that what the point is that you see this hole here on the back is the metal plate from this one, and then if it's all together, you have in the controller this pin, and if you put back the compartment, this pin will push these two metal connectors together, which will make the circuit complete, and then of course turn on the controller. So in this case, in my case, this has too little space, so I kind of you know, give it a bit more space, and if you understand what I mean, so that if you put back in the controller, the pin, the plastic pin here will push the two together, which make the connection, and then so that's what I did. Now I'm gonna put it back together and you can see if it works. So here you can see how I put it together. You have the release button with the spring. Just put the spring on it, and then that's my son, he's trying to meddle in. Then you have this little rail here with where the button belongs. You make sure that the spring is here in, and then the end here you have a little bit of a opening where the pin goes in, and then make sure that the hooks of the hooks goes behind the cover. Then hold it in place with one finger and then put it back the other side. It's a bit of a tricky to get right. So this, you can see it's back. Like I said, I kind of broke it. It's no other way to open it. Whoops! There's no other way to open it. You have to break it. So you put the spudger in here where this little spudge is. You kind of have to break it open, as I said, and then if you put it back together, it's it stays, but not that secure. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Now let's see if when I put new batteries in, if it works. All right. So as you can see, I put it back in, and it kind of works, but because it connects, but because you have to break it open, it's not really secure unless you kind of glue it together. I don't have glue at hand at the moment, so I cannot do this, but you see it works. Hope this video is useful to anyone who is interested and want to give it a try. So yeah, that's kind of it. All right.